taking the victory lap here with our boy Big T. Massive takedown PGA last night. Shipped the Millie.
The Twins got the job done for our boy Hoop. Won him $100K, won him a live final seat.
JSU shipped $200K on, I think, just $1,000 worth of entries. He had a monster night.
Anytime we see members crush like this, we're excited.
Last night, one of our most loyal subscribers from the beginning, Jay Love, took down $20K.
I want to give a shout out to Redmen, who won over $50,000 on opening day.
Blind Bandit took down the $100,000 top prize.
We had someone win a live final seat.
It was one of those days where it's like going 5x or 10x on your money. It wasn't enough to get enough love in the Discord.
Record 62 took down the Millie Maker.
I don't even know if this heater is ever going to end.
Some of these other sites are just boring you to death.
I like how other sites nickel and dime you for every penny they can get.
Tons of the members have given tickets and membership on their own. Like, we're not telling them to do that. They're just doing it for good mojo.
You love to see it. We love the good mojo. And
the mojo is what the mojo is.
I give you credit for still having that happen. We appreciate it.
Wait till we ship tonight. I might never take it off.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports MLB Swing for the Fences show. We got Hoop after a nice little win. We got JT. He's here looking nice and shiny with that head there on a nice Friday. Excited to be here with you guys. I can't go to you first, JT. I got to go to Hoop because he had a big night last night. It was a good time to be Hoop 2410. Hoop, how's it going and how was last night's DFS slate for you?
Well, first off, I mean, did the show with Big T and JT Hayes, and we talked about it like the first time the three of us were together in a while. And, I have to attribute some of the success to JT. I mean, we hadn't done a ton of baseball shows together this year. He comes on, I have a big night. So JT, I wanted to thank you first off for getting me started last night on the right path. Second off, it was a big night, but I hate to say it, like, I hope people won't take this the wrong way, but it really wasn't all that exciting. I had this team was like dominating from the beginning. It had all the right Boston guys. I had Dahlbach, super low owned, which I was kind of surprised about because, Boston was the clear. I wasn't expecting Dahlbach to be highly owned, but like single digit, like low single digits, 4 or 5%. He went off for 60. I had Jose Ramirez. I had Reyes. I had the shortstop Owen Miller, who hit a home run relatively early. I punted second base on FanDuel with their guy that was batting last, Jimenez, I believe his name was. He hit like a RBI double, scored a run. I had Devers, who obviously hit the home run. And then, so I had all this offense. I had the best offense from the games. And then I had Max Scherzer sitting there. So the way it looked, all Scherzer had to do is literally go out there and not get bombed. It was a blowout victory. I think I won by over 30 fantasy points. There never really was that much of a sweat. I kind of texted Big T and he's like, you're going to win. He's like, there's no need to even sweat this out. So it was obviously a good night, exciting, but wasn't all that much of a sweat.
Yeah, I was watching it too. I was like, early on, I was like, okay, like this seems really good. This one's definitely going to be live. It was a good, fun sweat. JT, we'll go over to you. How is your day? How is your Friday? Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, always excited. It was great last night. We talked about the pitching. We talked about how we thought Patrick Corbin was going to be a little bit more owned than he should be, and talked about Max Scherzer. And I had one lineup with Bobby Dahlbeck, so I didn't have enough. But obviously, great lineup construction there from Hoop. Congratulations once again. And it's another night where I think there's some traps at pitchers, some pitchers that are going to be popular that I think people are on. And I think we're going to be on a different path here. So really excited to get into all this, especially since you're sitting right in front of Narrative Street and Brett Favre. It's just it's good to see you, sweet Travis. Welcome to the Friday show.
I'm excited to be here too with you, JT. Also, you used the word owned before. Use the word rostership. Those are the new words we use in this industry. Okay, JT.
Yeah, so what happened with all that? It's too I didn't have enough time to go back and dig in. I was hoping to get in the conversation. So I just want the quick cliff notes, and then we can move on.
The cliff notes is one person on Twitter said that the word ownership and owned is we shouldn't use those words. They're very hurtful for many reasons, and we need rostership and roster percentage.
So I'll sum it up in 2 words: millennial bullshit, and then I'll follow that up with the fact that Travis is my slave.
That's language that's crazy. That is something that people would say, okay, yes, there's offensive language out there for sure, but to say talking fantasy sports ownership you got to be fucking kidding me. Come on, people.
So that's the quick overview of it, Hoop. I know JT gets tilted when the show goes too long. We go to 6 o'clock. So JT, let's dive in right away. Give us the pitchers, give us the winners. What are we doing on this slate? You already sound like you have this nugget for us that you got the gems. You told me we're going to go a different path over here at Run Pure today. That's what you just said. So give me the lowdown on what we need to do to get started.
Yeah, I don't get tilted when we go along. It's when we go along because we're talking about, the drugs that Holden's going to consume over the course of the weekend. That's kind of where, for me, I lose a little interest. But a very interesting slate. And I will tell you right off the bat, probably the take that I have that I think is most different from what I see around the industry is I am, too, disappointed that there's potential weather in Philadelphia because I wanted all of the people to own Aaron Nola. I wanted his ownership to be up because I think he's one of the best fades on the slate tonight. Aaron Nola coming off a dominating performance in San Diego. Every single time he's done that, he's come back and he's disappointed his next start. And it doesn't matter who it's against. He's done that against Pittsburgh, against Miami, against the Rockies, granted in Colorado. He threw 117 pitches in a near complete game in San Diego. And we know, as we saw the other night with Zach Wheeler, look, Joe Girardi has no trust in this bullpen. Aaron Nola is going to be left out there to throw pitches until he either succeeds or gives up 6 runs tonight. And I think Garrett Cole is a much better play at the top of the salary chart on DraftKings this evening. So I'll leave it there and let you guys chime in. That's kind of where I start with my first look.
All right, that's the first look from JT. He'll be giving us the winners shortly. We'll go to Hoop, but before we do that, I want to talk about the members that never win, right? Hoop won last night, but we got members that did pretty well too. DFS Production, he won $1K last night, so congrats to him. We also had BBQ winner. He won $33,000 in MLB yesterday. Nice little team. Right here, it's Chris Sale. He had Hernandez from the Marlins. So, and then he had Vasquez, he had Dahlbeck, Kike Hernandez, Jose Ramirez, Ahmed Rosario, Franmil Reyes, Miles Straw, and Bradley Zimmer. So very simple team. Played the Indians, played the Red Sox. Hoop. That was a pretty good recipe to winning yesterday. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep, correct. And that's what I obviously did. And we talked about it on the show too. Obviously, if you go to the top of the Boston lineup and stack 1 through 4, 1 through 5, if you go to the Indians lineup and stack 1 through 4, 1 through 5, you're not going to win a GPP. We said it. I mean, me, JT, Big T, that's one of the main talking points on the show last night. And I stacked both those teams, which were very popular teams, but I did some different things. Obviously, I went to Dahlbeck, who was, super low owned. I think the team had Duran. He didn't do all that much, but he was cheap. I played the dude batting last for the Indians, who I have no fucking clue who he is or, what he's capable of doing at the dish. He was 2K. That's all I was looking for. So, on the smaller slates, it's something to consider. You don't always have to fade the popular teams. You just have to play the guys that aren't going to be as highly owned. Obviously, that's easy to say because it just worked out for me last night. I mean, so it's easy to sit here and have this conversation. But in general, though, it's kind of, some of the things you should be looking at.
Yep, agreed. Also, I want to mention, hit that like, hit that subscribe on the video. Again, helps us out a ton. We appreciate it. We won't yell at you too much here shortly. I got Hoop here to get on you, so just do it now. Don't wait. Get those likes in, subscribe to our channel to get all the Run Pure Sports content. We got best ball content with NFL right around the corner. You don't want to miss out on that. We have everything that you guys need, and we're going to have NFL content running daily for you guys. So subscribe so you get notified when we go live. Also, I want to mention another thing that not many people know about, but I got a message today in Discord from Zborn19, and he sent me the message, and he said, hey, morning, trying to give you guys a $121 ticket to give out tonight for a single entry. He's been on a nice run, so he wanted to give back to the RPS family. Now, I already gave away the ticket. I'm not giving out in the chat. He wanted to make sure it went to a member, so I just picked a member in the chat that I thought was a good choice, right? One that plays a little bit of lower stakes. He wanted to give someone a shot to play in that 121. So we gave it to Boom Shack. So he's going to be given a chance at trying to take that down, $121 entry in the single entry MLB contest. And he even said, if I get either top 10 or top 5, he said he was going to, give back. So we'll be rooting on Boom Shack today. Hoop, I'll go over to you. What's your overall breakdown on this slate?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and spruce it up a little bit too. I appreciate them, member giving away the $120 ticket. In honor of my win last night, I just decided that we're gonna go ahead and give away let's see if it's not full, which I don't think it will be, a $450 ticket on FanDuel tonight. So that contest, the monster, 300K monster, 100K to first, I'm gonna give away a ticket to that. So Mangone, JT, one of you guys can pick it out. Definitely want it to be a member though. So one of our members will be giving that ticket away to today during the show.
Excellent.
All right. How do you want to? So we'll do a member, obviously. JT, is there a way you want to do this? Maybe put something in the baseball chat. What are you thinking, JT? You're the guy I want to try and figure this one out.
I mean, members should be watching, even though this is free content, right? This is kind of the first look after the podcast. So members in here, let us know you're a member in the YouTube chat. And then when we get towards the end of the show, we'll pick one of you guys and we'll make it worth your while for tuning in on the free early MLB show. I think that's the way to do it.
All right. We have to, no qualifications, JT. Do you want to make us laugh? I mean, do you want to make it in the Discord chat? That way we know they're a member.
I mean, they never make us laugh. I mean, it's not like we've got a bunch of comedians in there. These are guys and gals that are grinding DFS. So, I mean, I want to keep my expectations in check. Do you have maybe something that you think they should be doing?
I don't know. We'll figure it out throughout the show, right? It'll just come to us. Let's let it organically happen. Maybe it'll be in the Discord chat. Maybe it'll be a member in the YouTube chat. I don't know. We'll find it what we think is best to do. Hoop, that won't sell out too soon, right? We'll be able to give that towards the end of the show, you think?
Yeah. There's a lot of spots left, so we'll be fine in terms of that. We'll come up with something. We'll figure out something. But we're gonna give away the $450 ticket. A lot of times we do DraftKings, and we kind of forget about FanDuel in terms of their contest. So today we're going to focus on FanDuel, that $450 GPP, and I expect whoever gets the ticket to take down the 100K. So that's one thing I want to happen.
Yeah, that's the expectation, obviously.
Yes.
And if the people sign up, they can use the code RPS NFL 15, get you 15% off. All the content here at Run Pure Sports, right? You get it off of NFL, you get it off of NASCAR, the preseason tonight, MLB. You get everything under one price. So be sure to sign up now. Monthly payment, RPS NFL 15. Hoop, I'll go to you. Start off though. Pitching. What are we doing here at the top? I mean, JT kind of alluded to it. Aaron Nola is there, and he's definitely in play. So is Garrett Cole. It sounds like he likes Garrett Cole over Aaron Nola. There is some bad weather there. How are you handling the top end arms here?
Yeah, I mean, the decision, might be made for us based on this weather, not looking great in Philadelphia, looking somewhat risky. And, if that game does, become even more risky, all that's going to do is increase the ownership for Garrett Cole. And that's kind of what JT laid out. He had already preferred Cole over Nola. Now, with this weather, that decision might just be made for people, and they're just going to go to Garrett Cole at 10-5, which DraftKings continues, I bitch about it every show, but continues to just mess up this pitcher pricing. I mean, just too cheap for a guy like Garrett Cole. Pitcher's ballpark here. 10-5. Obviously, I think really, really good play in the slate. You got Musgrove at 9-6. I think he's another guy that you can consider. Erod, after kind of hurting me in the live final, is back on the mound, and I don't hate him. Probably more so in tournaments for sure. But really up top for me, it's strong lean to Garrett Cole, and I don't hate it if we get the clear weather thing in Philadelphia. I don't hate pairing these guys up. It's easy to do so. We talked about it on the show yesterday. Again, like so many cheap bats where if you want to get up to the top, you're going to be able to do it. And the same thing for today. There's going to be enough cheap bats out there. If you want to pay up for both these guys, you're certainly going to be able to do so. But like I said, as it stands now, I'm in agreement with JT where it's going to be Cole over Nola for me.
All right, Cole over Nola there. Again, the weather's going to matter today, right? Not only for the hitters, because like we talk about this a lot. Sometimes we want to prioritize the hitters. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to prioritize the Rays, right? Any team that's playing Baltimore seems like not a bad team to prioritize right now. And they have some bad weather. So JT, I'll go over to you and ask you this question. Is this going to change the way that you maybe attack pitcher because you might not be able to have access to this game? Are you going to go down to maybe a Logan Gilbert to be able to jam in some of those Rays? What are you doing here on this slate, JT?
Yeah, there's a lot of pitchers who are, I think, coming off of a series, and Logan Gilbert's one of these guys, right? Coming off of a series of really poor performances, and some of that dictated by matchup, but also a terrible performance away from home in Texas. Either his last start or a couple of starts ago. And one of the things to remember, and it's something I'm thinking about too, especially when I saw the price on Shane McClanahan, who's dominated this matchup against the Orioles, is you get a lot of these rookies that didn't play real baseball last year, right? They were like throwing bullpens at the alternate site. And as these innings pile up, you're starting to see some of this fatigue with these younger pitchers. And even a guy like Sean Manaea, who's been terrible for about a month now, finally priced down to 8-4, but in a matchup against one of the hottest teams in baseball in the New York Yankees. So I think in pairing and looking at your SP2 on DraftKings, if you're not going to pair Cole with Musgrove, and by the way, just on Garrett Cole, I think people will start to see, right, this game looks dicey. You're going to see Cole's ownership go from where it's projected now, 25 to maybe as high as 50%. And I think people will get scared off on that. This is a slate where if you lose that game, and if the pitchers in that game in Baltimore are out, you're not going to use Harvey, of course, but you're looking at a situation where I think Cole should be much higher owned than 50% because he's the one guy on this slate who has slate breaking capability, right? I mean, Musgrove, I think, possesses it here in this matchup with the Angels coming back from the East Coast. The Padres bullpen not only has been bad, but I mentioned it on the show yesterday. It was one of the reasons why I did have some interest in Yu Darvish, is because I thought they would push him, even though it was his first start back. They did. Unfortunately, it took him a few innings to get his command together, and he gave up some runs early. But I think if you're looking at not pairing Cole and, say, Musgrove, you're going to be looking at a fairly risky starting pitcher too. And, you know, we can go down the list here of guys. There's a number of guys that I'm not playing. I mean, I think Wade Miley is going to be popular. He's 9-2 on DraftKings. And the Marlins smashed the exact same pitcher last night. Wade Miley and Patrick Corbin changed the names. They're the exact same pitcher. So I don't have a ton of interest in him at 9-2. One guy that I'm playing with now that I don't know if I'm going to own. I don't know if I do, how much I'm going to own. He's been terrible all season. He's been bad most of the year. But he gets a matchup with the Cubs, and we know how much the Cubs strike out. I expect the White Sox should win this game pretty easily against Keegan Thompson and a terrible Cubs bullpen is Dallas Keuchel at 6-6. Now, don't go crazy. Nobody likes to play him. It's disgusting, but what else is there out there? You're going to play Kyle Freeland against this ridiculous Los Angeles matchup. I mean, this is a much different Dodger team. Now, flip side of that is Kyle Freeland 7.0, and every time that the Dodgers have come out of one of these intense series with the Padres, especially on a sweep, they have a letdown game. So could you go to Kyle Freeland at 7.0? Could you risk Manaea at 8.4? I think it gets a little dicey after Cole, at least in my opinion.
All right, JT. Steve Anthony said in the chat that ticket giveaway kind of discriminates against people who are a bit shyer in the chat. Everyone pays the same membership fee. Just saying. So how will you encourage those shyer members, JT, to speak up a little bit today on the show?
Well, Steve Anthony, what? What? I mean, what is that? First, I know he's not talking about himself. Who are you? Who do you think? What is this?
He's
What
thinking of
is
the
this?
Shy
This is
Guys.
the
And I'm
Equal
telling you,
Employment
JT.
Opportunity Commission. You want a free ticket? Get in there. Tell us you're a member. You're gonna have to collect it in the Discord. Cut this bullshit out. Discrimination.
There we go, JT. I wanted you to
Who wants
encourage
to
the
pitch?
Shy
Steve
Guys.
Anthony,
to
I
get
love
in
you, but
here.
you can't be doing this, buddy. You can't be doing this. First of all, terrible mojo on a Friday night. How can I go have beers
The
when you're
shy people. I mean, you're sitting behind a computer. Like, you don't need to be shy. You can do. I mean,
God. Trust me,
you don't
most
know.
of these guys in Discord are not shy. The shit they say day in and day out all day long. Maybe they're emboldened by the fact that they're behind a keyboard. Most of these guys are not shy.
Oop, let me give you a guy in the chat that's not shy. Dante says, I came here and I hit the like button and it only took 2 seconds, matching my workbench time. Let's go, people. So I think he's saying the time that he was in there, which at least he's honest, right? So that was my favorite comment so far. I was laughing about that one.
Yeah.
I will say I've already disqualified one of our members from the ticket. I've already disqualified one. Do you guys want to know who it is?
Go for it. Is it Steve?
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy in here begging for the ticket, literally begging for the ticket. He's one of my favorite members, but I have to say no, Kevin Fallick, you're not getting the ticket tonight.
He already won the ticket when he went to the game with you, and he's sending me the bill for the beers. He said, so.
You got to have a beer with me. Exactly.
And we got glaucoma with Troop. I don't know if you can confirm you met him this weekend. He says, I'm a shy guy in the chat. Is he one of the shy guys in the chat there?
Yeah, I mean, first off, Glaucoma, just an amazing guy. His wife was awesome to hang out with. Just very nice, down to earth people. He didn't seem too shy to me. I mean, maybe because he felt comfortable around Hoop and Big T. We went out to lunch. The lunch that Holden ditched us on. Glaucoma was there with the wife. All around good dude. I mean, it was a pleasure to meet him for sure.
I think he's just trying to get the ticket, right? Same with Mark C. He said #shy guy. So maybe with the
Glaucoma has too much money to win the free $450 ticket. That's one disqualification. Guys like Glaucoma and K Fallick that are multimillionaires, you're not winning the $450 ticket.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about these other pitchers. Let's talk about Logan Gilbert, right? Let's talk about some of these mid-tier arms. Who else are you considering on this slate?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting slate where we have these 15 games, but there's just not a lot of pitchers that I feel super comfortable with. You come down, I think Logan Gilbert is definitely in play here because of, the ballpark and the matchup. Another cheaper guy that I don't hate, and you're just kind of hoping they survive, would be Odorizzi at 6.7K. 2 out of his last 3 starts have been solid. Did well against Seattle, did well against Colorado. I don't hate him. JSURab maybe at 8K. Good start last time. I believe it was the same matchup. Yeah, I mean, he's been good in 3 straight starts. Took care of business against the Pirates. I believe that was on Saturday. Gets the same matchup again tonight. I don't hate him. It's going to be one of those nights, though. We talk about spreading it out or keeping it tight. I'm going to keep my player pool at pitcher pretty damn tight tonight. I just don't trust a lot of these guys. I like Cole up top, Musgrove I'm good with, a little bit of, JSURab, some Gilbert, some Odorizzi. And that's honestly probably where I'm drawing the line. So it's shaping up to me to be a night where I'm going to probably have 5, maybe 6 pitchers. And then on FanDuel, that number is going to be a lot lower.
All right, JT, I'm going to go back to you because I want to ask you, this is more of a statistical analysis question, diving into the numbers, which, who doesn't dive as deep into them, but I wanted to ask I don't know if this makes a lot of sense, but I noticed this year when I looked at some stuff. Eduardo Rodriguez, right? He's been better against righties than lefties, and the Indians can get righty heavy, right? So I don't know. It seems like it doesn't make a lot of sense to the guy that he is from what I've known in the past. That was just something I noticed last 30 days. And then I looked at the last, the entire year, and I noticed it's just there. And the Indians are a team that's hot, but their run total's kind of low, and they're very righty heavy. I mean, there's only 2 lefties in that lineup. So what do you think of Eduardo Rodriguez? He's a bit scary, and I also know who played him at the live final, so I think he's swearing off of Eduardo Rodriguez as well. So, JT, what are we doing here with Eron?
He was really good for about a month, and even in some difficult matchups. And then he has a matchup against Texas at home last time at it. He goes negative, which you don't expect from a guy like him against an offense like that. The price point 9.4 is just for this matchup. You know, Cleveland about league average in strikeouts for the season. They've been hitting the ball well recently. And if I'm going to that dollar amount, right, I'm probably going to he's at least third behind Cole and behind Musgrove the way that I look at this slate. But then again, a lot of people will look at it that same way, and he'll be lower owned because of that. You know, we talked a little bit about Logan Gilbert. The concern here in this matchup, and we saw it again last night, is the Royals do not strike out as much as they have in years past, right? We talked about that with the Rangers not striking out as much. Of course, it's less of a concern when they're at their home ballpark and they've got a guy in Odorizzi who's just 6'7", right? We're not really all that concerned about him needing to pile up a bunch of strikeouts at that price point. You're trying to get 15 to 20 from your starting pitcher too. So I think for me, I think I'll be lower on Erod as of right now, unless I see something that's dramatically changed.
All right, Hoop, I'm going to ask you a question that was mentioned in the chat. That was really a question, but it's something that they mentioned that I noticed when I was looking at the slate at first look. It says this is Hap's third time seeing Pittsburgh in the last 3 weeks, right? And he has 240 spots, I think, on FanDuel against them. He's pitched pretty well. He pitched great at that live final. I think it was Saturday's last time we saw him. What are you doing here with J.A. Happ? We know the strikeout upside can be there against this Pittsburgh team, but we know he can give up home runs. So how are you handling J.A. Happ on this slate?
Yeah, he's one of the guys that I mentioned that's going to be in my player pool. I mean, it's a good matchup. He's done well in this matchup. Good ballpark, obviously, for pitching. Not a ton of other guys that I trust. Outside of the top guys, you're hoping your guy, gets you, 15, 16, 17. I think he can do that tonight. 8K, very reasonable price tag. Favorite here, obviously. So, yeah, Happ will be in my player pool tonight.
All right, and Hoopa, Kenneth in the chat said, going to be listening, but need to cut the grass before vacation. See chat, we'll be back in the chat for the premium show. I mean, do you have any advice for the lawn cutting before vacation?
Well, that could be an expensive lawn job for him because we're giving away that $450 ticket. You don't want to miss out on that. I mean, if you're not in the chat, you're not going to be eligible for the $450. So, I mean, I would maybe go reverse on that, watch this show, and then up to lock show, maybe go cut the grass, or wait till later tonight, tomorrow morning. Not a good time to cut the grass. You got to plan a little. One thing I will say, as an expert, home lawn care maintenance guy, you got to plan a little bit better. Definitely have to plan better.
Prioritize, Soup, right? I mean, you got to have your priorities in order. Grass is important, but the grass is going to be there in 2 hours. It's going to be there tomorrow morning. It'll be there tomorrow afternoon before you get on that cruise or whatever it is you're doing. The ticket will be gone. The ticket will be gone.
And well, speaking of planning and prioritizing, JT, I'm going to plan and prioritize. We trying to get off this show on time, right? Or at least closer to on time, so you don't get mad at me. Plan and prioritize the pitchers for me, JT. What do we got? Give me your final breakdown on the pitchers and your top 4 guys.
Yeah, it's going to be Cole. It's going to be Musgrove. And then it's going to be a little bit spread out from there, but only around 3 or 4 guys. I probably will end up with some I'll definitely have some Odorizzi. I might end up with some Logan Gilbert. And I am leaning towards, like I said, he's going to be 4% owned. He's been disastrous most of the season. But we have targeted this Cubs team with left-handed pitching. And, even guys like Jesus Luzardo were able to get 10 points against these guys. So you tell me Keuchel at 6'6", he's going to get 5 innings and maybe only give up a run or 2 and get a couple of Ks. Another big thing to mention with Keuchel is Yasmani Grandal is back from the IL. He's in the lineup. He's behind the plate tonight. Yasmani Grandal, a much better defensive catcher than anyone else that the White Sox have been rolling out there. And look, in a matchup where they're taking on the Chicago Cubs team that seems to give up 10 runs every single day, I think Keuchel's easily going to get the win, and he could be points per dollar, one of the top 2 or 3 pitchers on the slate. I know it's disgusting, but I'm going to have some Dallas Keuchel tonight.
All right, Hoop, I'm going to get my notepad out. You have all the winners. So give me the final breakdown on pitcher. This is your time, kids, right? Get the notepad out. Write down Hoop's 1, 2, 3, 4, the final notes that he's got for you. Don't miss out on it. Hoop, break it down for me.
Yeah, definitely, want to be in this top range. Cole, Nola, if that Philadelphia game's good, Musgrove up top. And then Hap, Gilbert, and Odorizzi are kind of my top 6 here at this point.
All right, there you go. And you can see that on the cash chart. So if you haven't checked out the cash chart, be sure to go and check that out and see what Hoop's on today. What his player pool looks like.
I can't get Hoop interested in Keuchel. Hoop, did you play any Zach Gallen last night?
I did not. I only ended up playing the 3 teams, so he did not. I played Sale, Scherzer, and unfortunately your boy Patrick Corbin, which was
my
over.
boy.
That lineup was dead super quick. He was only 7.2, like we said though on the show. He's only 7.2 on FanDuel, and
it's funny. I shit all over him, and then Hoop's like, "Well, on FanDuel, he said, like, you're right, Hoop. That's fine."
Yeah.
And then Mangone texts me. He's like, "Yeah, I like Patrick Corbin." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, Corbin.
Corbin listen to you.
Corbin was frustrating yesterday. What are you gonna do? It happens. The cheap pitchers have been working out, and attacking the Marlins has been fun. So I mean, it's one of those things that's been easy to do. But let's move on. Let's talk about the hitters. Hoop, game by game, right? That's been working out. We got to keep everything flowing for you.
We got 15 though, so we gotta, we're on the time limit today, so we gotta cruise.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want JT mad at me. JT, we might not end at 5:30 exactly, but I promise it won't be like 5:50, right? Okay, so I don't want to have the post-show meeting where you yell at me, man, going, you went over again, okay? So just JT, relax, it'll be okay. And we got to pick the ticket, guys. So let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies. Decent total for the Phillies on this slate, JT. We know there's weather there. Well, obviously, if there's weather, you don't play it. But let's say there's no weather, JT. What are you doing with the Phillies and Diamondbacks?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this Phillies team, obviously they came back against this bullpen last night. Widener not nearly on the same skill level as Zach Gallen, and also Widener in his last 3 starts, the lowest batted ball in play average against, which is something that I always enjoy targeting. And the Philly team is desperate for a win. Simply put, they are on the verge of collapse in terms of the playoff race, and I think they're going to play desperate. So I think if this game shows that, there'll be some rain in the area and pitchers aren't safe, I think then honestly, you can be interested in both sides of this game, because we saw just how terrible this Phillies bullpen is once again last night. So you have a situation where you're going to get Nola out of there earlier. Like I said, I'm not particularly on Nola, but even if he goes 6-7 innings, I just think it's going to be a lower output from him. So wouldn't mind taking a look maybe at some of these one-offs in Arizona, but on a 15-game slate, I think we really do have to prioritize our offenses. So I think Philly is in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philly's in the mix. Hoop, you like to play Philly sometimes. Obviously, weather could just come and you could just cross it all off. Break down what you're doing here with this Phillies game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about them yesterday. I was off them. They haven't been hitting all that well. I'll go back tonight. I think the matchup is really good here at home. It's just a matter of if it gets in. And, this system on the East Coast appears to have already hit, because that golf tournament's in Baltimore, and they just went into a delay. So definitely a situation to monitor. I'm hoping it's, the system has gotten there early and it's going to clear out and we'll be able to play. But we'll have, updates on that in Discord and whatnot. So we really need to monitor these 2 games, Philadelphia and Baltimore. But if it's good to go and the hitting is good to go, I definitely will have some Phillies tonight.
All right. Not Big T. Hoop. I was gonna say, I'm reading the Discord chat, right? And Mamba said, I will give if you give me the ticket and I ship, I will gift 10 people a monthly membership. He was gifted a membership, so he's trying to sweeten up the pot. I mean, you don't have to, but that's something that he offered. So again, we're looking for people to pick for different options. JT, what do you think of that? That's a nice little offer, possibly.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. Very gracious of you as always.
Again, you guys don't have to, right? That won't increase your odds of being picked. It's just, we're going to decide what we think is the best as we go along. But JT, we got to hurry this thing up. We don't need to talk about that game anymore. We got to go to the Cardinals. We got to go to the Pirates. Are you stacking against JSURab? Are you stacking against Dylan Peters in PNC Park? JT, what are you doing here with this game?
Yeah, I think these 2 teams combined for something like 18 or 19 runs last night, and I don't expect that it's going to happen again. You can certainly take some shots on some of these Cardinals against Dylan Peters, but their prices are all up, and I'm not sure how much of anyone in this game I'm going to have. We talked a little bit about JSURab. I mean, price is creeping up, 8.0 on DraftKings. Never feels comfortable for a J-Hap, but he has pitched better since he's been in St. Louis. And, this is a team that doesn't have a whole lot to offer in terms of power right now on the Pittsburgh side.
Hoop, Kenneth has upped it. He said, I'll gift 11. He did the Price is Right move. So he's up to 11. So there you go. That's good times in this chat. Hoop, though, we got to yell at the people a little bit. We're going to give out a ticket, and I only got 168 likes with 400 watching. Hoop, get on the people here and then talk about this Cardinals game.
That's one way to kill the ticket mojo for sure, to ratio us on these likes. I mean, definitely at this point needs to be over 200. I'm expecting that the chat will get it done for us, though. I think we'll be over 200 by the time we look next. So I think it's going to be easy work for them today.
Yep.
Go ahead.
What are you saying?
I was going to say, in terms of this game, kind of like the Cardinals last night, I didn't play a ton of them just because I didn't end up MMEing. I'd be back on them. I mean, I just like picking, offenses against these teams that just have a bunch of shitty pitchers, and that's kind of how I view the situation with the Pirates. I like the Cardinals against lefties. You can get, Goldschmidt, O'Neill, Arenado, all high upside plays. Edman. If I'm making 20 teams, which I am tonight, I'll have a little bit of the Cardinals.
Yep, definitely makes sense. Cardinals are in play against, lefty. Those righties can definitely get to them. JT, let's go talk about the Rays and the Orioles. Hoop told us the weather's already there, but who knows how long it'll stay. Obviously, we'll be in the Discord chat. You'll be updating with the Dark Sky app. Tell the people what we're doing here with the Rays.
Yeah, you have to have interest in the Rays. You get Matt Harvey. You get the delicious Baltimore bullpen, which now even features Jorge Lopez, an exciting addition to the Baltimore bullpen. And I don't think Adam Plutko has pitched in a couple of days, so could see him coming in after Matt Harvey this evening. It looks like it's nice and humid there. A little bit of a breeze heading out to right field. So definitely interested in the Rays bats here. And what I had seen on the weather is that it looked like there was a chance for delay, but that the game should get in. So I'm not as concerned here with the Tampa Bay game. And you have to think that they're going to be one of the more popular offenses, but deservedly so.
Yep, they also get 9 at-bats, or not at-bats, 9 innings, which result to a lot of at-bats, so that's obviously good. If any team was getting 9 at-bats, I think I would take them. But 9 innings is very good for the Rays. Hoop, what are you doing here with the Rays? I mean, they're a popular offense, and some people are just going to say, I'm going to fade them, game theory, blah, blah, blah. How do we get different with it? I think maybe not playing Austin Meadows, who hasn't been that great lately, and some of these other options might be the move. I'm not going to probably play like the 7, 8, and 9 together, but I'll mix some of these guys throughout my lineup. How are you doing it, Hoop?
Yeah, I mean, these are my favorite sorts of quote unquote popular chalky offenses, which I think is even kind of overblown because it's a 15-game slate. So, I mean, it always gets spread out a little bit more. But I really like these sorts of offenses because you can make the case for everyone here, top to bottom. I mean, you got, the catcher, an overpriced catcher batting 9th that has power. Going to be unowned. Kiermaier's in play. Margot 7-hole in play. Wendell. You can make the case all these guys have upside. It's the best sort of chalky stack to get exposure to, and I definitely won't be fading the Rays. And we have weather here, so if we get the indication that we think this game's good to go, this will probably bring down the ownership a little bit.
All right. Hoop, anything else? Would you do a game stack, right? I mean, McClanahan's pretty good. We didn't talk about him that much at pitcher, but would you play some of these righties here as like maybe a one-off option?
Yeah, I mean, they got McClanahan. He's the most expensive pitcher on on DK. I mean, it makes it tough. I probably won't be going to the Orioles. I can see why you would. I mean, they have some right-handed bats that are pretty solid, been performing quite well this season. I probably won't be going there.
All right, let's go over to JT. JT, talk to me about the Mets. They suck, right? But high total today. They get Espino, right? And that terrible Nationals bullpen. Are you playing some Mets? Are you playing some Nationals against the Mr. Rich Hill, who throws a ton of meatballs, but still finds a way to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get excited about this game. Maybe I should be more excited with it being 85 degrees and humid in Washington. We've seen these games shoot out. You have
I don't think it's in Washington, JT. I think it's in New York.
Sorry, in New York. In New York. You're right. That's why I didn't like this. Thank you. No, I hate that park. I hate this Mets team. Tough to get excited about them here. you want to play some one-offs against Rich Hill, I'm all for that. I think Rich Hill is just another terrible pickup by the New York Mets organization. And then one last thing as we turn it over, going to go to Hoop here in a second, but let us know in the chat there if you play on FanDuel. The last thing we want to do is give a ticket out for FanDuel to someone who only plays DraftKings, and I have to spend the last 20 minutes before lock trying to explain how to construct a FanDuel lineup, or Hoop would, because that's who you would ask.
Yeah. Definitely come to me.
Yep. And real quick, Dante in the chat, he said, Hoop 9-inch, Hoop heater might pop out another kid. Hoop, that's bad mojo. We don't want another kid coming this way. I mean,
no, I'm good with that. I'm good in that department. Boy, girl, they're a little bit older now. More kids would not be the move here for sure.
Not optimal, just like the Nationals and Mets, right, Hoop? I don't think this is too optimal today on this slate. How about you, though? Are you stacking up some Mets or Nationals?
No, sir. Maybe the Mets. I don't know. I mean, they should be pretty low owned, but this is, again, another one of these weather games. We don't have the lineup out yet. I don't think. I haven't refreshed, but it doesn't look like the lineup's out. They have a nice team total, 5.5, but again, it's a weather situation that we need to monitor. So I haven't fully ruled out the Mets at this point.
All right, Hoop, I actually am going to go back to you because we're talking Boston and Cleveland, right? So do we run it back here? I mean, it does make some sense on this slate. It's got a 9.5 implied total, and I couldn't talk about Cleveland and Boston without going to you because that's how you shipped it last night. So talk to me about this game. How are you handling these hitters?
Yeah, sweet spot in my heart. They screwed me at the live final by getting shut down by Jordan Lyles, but then rewarded me last night. So it's a love-hate relationship. I'm just going to keep playing them. All right. And tonight, I think it's going to be nice. Again, we don't have this lineup either, but Kiki Hernandez, I think, is on the health and safety protocol thing. So we're going to have some cheap bats in here, I believe, when we get this lineup out, which will make it easier to stack this team on the road, gets the 9 at bats, the 9th inning at bats, like you talked about. So yeah, I'm going to definitely be on Boston here tonight. Definitely.
Yep. And I already disqualified another member from getting this ticket. That's Binair, Mr. FanDuel, Mr. WNBA. All right, you're out. Mr. WNBA is not getting the ticket. Sorry, Binair. No chance. JT,
was he part of the WNBA conversation last night? Those guys were going. There's a few guys going hard last night at each other, and the WNBA and girlfriends and wives were involved. I was like, oh man, this is not a good scene in here.
No clue, but Binair has definitely been involved in the WNBA stuff on the premium show, so he might be. Definitely could be him. JT, do you agree or disagree? I think we can not ban, but take Binair out of the running because he's talking to the WNBA, and then let's talk about the Red Sox and the Indians here.
Yeah, I'm not going to vote to overturn that veto. So you're good there. Yeah, I mean, Kike, as who pointed out, and Christian Arroyo headed to the health and safety COVID IL. So you're going to have some cheapies here. Obviously, Bobby Dalbec went absolutely bonkers last night. Great matchup against Logan Allen. Logan Allen. By the numbers, last 3 performances in the major leagues, negative fantasy points. You always love to see that for an offense that you're considering. So I'm on the Red Sox as well.
Yep, Red Sox makes sense. We don't have that lineup yet because Kike got the COVID, right? So he's on the list. So we have to wait and see what that lineup's going to be. And it could take some time for that to come out where we know that can happen, Hoop, right? Sometimes these lineups take some time and maybe you get some lower ownership on the Red Sox, right, Hoop?
Yeah, it's kind of been happening too. What was it? I believe, was it Thursday night? The Angels, they didn't get their lineup out until like 20 minutes before the game started. So you're seeing more of that. And yeah, in these situations, I wouldn't be surprised if we get it a little later than we typically do.
All right, let's go over to the next game. We're talking about the Marlins Park. We got the Marlins and the Reds, Wade Miley and Zach Thompson. Hoop, I think you're not interested in this game. This is an ugly one for me, ugly one for you too.
Yeah, not playing here. Not a great hitting environment. Definitely not playing any bats here.
All right, JT, you want this show to hurry up. So are we hurrying up or are you going to talk about these Reds and Marlins for the people?
Let's move on. Why did you waste those 35 seconds?
I just want to make sure. I don't want to get yelled at, JT. I don't know the line of work you're in.
You're just furthering the narrative that you're my slave. I mean, this is beautiful. So
I mean, who knows? Maybe my Discord name will have the name Slave in it by the time the show's over. Who knows? Let's go talk about the Blue Jays. Let's go talk about the Tigers. And we can't talk about the Tigers and Matt Manning before we get to Hoop, right? We got to go to him right away because he is a huge Tigers fan. He went to the game. Luckily, his kid's favorite player is not a Tiger now. It's at least an Angel. So that's
and the guy just smashes too. We had the conversation on the show, Brandon Marsh. I can't remember what day it was, but whatever day we picked him, he had 4 hits. I mean, he didn't hit a homer, but just goes off. My son, he's got good taste in players. Apparently, he's Brandon Marsh. Watch out.
Yeah, you're lucky Brandon Marsh wasn't on the Tigers, right? So that way you can just move him away from being a Tigers fan. Yeah. I mean, good job by you. So there we go.
Good game here for offense. Obviously got a 10 total. Toronto, when they're in those other ballparks, just super popular every single night. Hasn't been the case as of late. Their ownership has come down a little bit. I think people may have kind of forgotten about them. Probably my favorite spot on the slate here, the Toronto Blue Jays against Matt Manning, who just cannot, miss any bats. This is the wrong team to have that sort of arsenal against. I mean, the Blue Jays, I think, will really exploit him. Earlier on in the season, the Blue Jays had a lineup that you could consider everyone top to bottom. The problem now is I don't think that's the case. Like, you have to focus on these higher lineup spot guys, 1 through, maybe 6. Gary, I would not mess with these dudes at the bottom. So really like them. Great stack, one-off, whatever you want to do. And then on the Tigers, I don't absolutely hate the Tigers here against Mats. Jonathan Scope, Candelario, Haas is back in there. Grossman, I think you can look at. So I don't hate the Tigers as a low on stack, maybe a game stack here, but definitely really like the Blue Jays.
Yep, Blue Jays are definitely in play. JT, man, Junyoya Gordy gave me a nickname that's like a combined of a bunch of them. I'm not even going to say it. I can't say it live on air. It's too much. So let's go to Blue Jays and Tigers, though, JT. Talk to me about the Blue Jays and the Tigers. Are we playing them? It's a 10 implied total. This is one of the games that I think you want to get a little bit of exposure to in your MME script.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays all season long before they went home to Sky Dome were playing in hitters parks, and they get to Sky Dome with the Humidor, and it's just been yes, there was some runs scored yesterday, but outside of that, not a ton. So it's an actual park upgrade when they go on the road now. They get to play outside. It's going to be 80 degrees out. It's nice, and Matt Manning is not ready for the major leagues just yet. We knew that when he got called up, and I like this spot quite a bit, at least for maybe even a 3-man with the Blue Jays, just because, as Hoop said, you look at the bottom of this order and Palacios, Kevin Smith, Reese McGuire, not exactly, although McGuire has had some good games in these spots as well. So if you wanted to have a punt catcher in there, I think he's going to be pretty low owned. And then, the Tigers did put up some runs in this same matchup against Steven Matz just on Sunday when Miguel Cabrera hit his 500th home run. So interesting spot here to take a look at some of these Tigers as well. I think it'll be a little bit overlooked.
All right. I do want to go over and talk to Hoop, but not about the game. I want to talk about RPS NFL 15, right? Get you 15% off your first monthly payment. Hoop, this is the point of the show where we talk about all the packages everyone's giving out, and you love to just go on a little tangent. So this is the time, Hoop. Tell the people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not familiar with our pricing model, it's just basically, one price for everything on the website. A lot of these other companies, they charge you every single time a sport starts. We just do one monthly fee, or you can even do weekly. The promo code right now is RPS NFL 15. If you use that on a monthly package, you get 15% off for life. If you want just DFS, that's going to put you at about $67 per month. If you want DFS and the bets package with the bets team just doing a phenomenal job producing winners constantly. It's going to be typically $100. It's going to take you down to $85 for life. That price sticks with you as long as you don't cancel at any point. So all sports, one price. Join the movement, as we like to say.
Yep. Join the movement. Hoop, will we be joining the movement of the Atlanta Braves? They have been on fire, but they get Kevin Gausman today. And then Max Fried, the Giants hit bombs. I'm sure Big T's boy, Darren Ruff and Wilmer Flores will be in there against the lefty, but I don't know. It's just not a game that I'm really that excited about.
Nope. It's a cross-off game for me on a 15-game slate.
JT, it's a Friday in Atlanta. Are we going to the game? Are you going to be watching some Giants and Atlanta Braves live today?
Yeah, I've got tickets, but the wife is out of town, and between the show and lineups and taking care of my pup, I just don't have enough time to get out there. So I'm going to go and drink some beers and eat a steak and watch it on TV. That's the way that I'm going to spend my Friday. And
are we doing Atlanta Braves ticket giveaway, JT? Well, I mean, maybe you give some to the chatter.
I mean, I'll give my 2 tickets away. They're in section 107. If people in Atlanta want to go see the Gigantes and the Braves this evening, go ahead and hit me up in the DMs, and I'll give you my tickets.
Now we're giving away baseball tickets.
I mean, I'm not using them, Hoop. I'm not using them. My wife said today, "Hey, did you sell those things?" I'm like, no, I didn't get around to it. So yeah, go ahead, hit me up. I'll give you the tickets. Anyway, I don't believe I'll roster. I'll take that back. I will probably in my 100 and some lineups have one giant stack just because of the 2 performances that Max Fried is coming off of. I think this is this is a much different caliber opponent than the Baltimore Orioles that he just dominated. So I think he'll come back down to life here. So just in case, I'll have maybe one giant stack.
All right. Noah said in the chat, I think he can be there in 7 hours. So the game will be over. Sorry, Noah, but we'll have to see.
Next time, Noah.
Yeah, we got McLongrod in the chat. Says Freddie Dogs tonight, which certainly he could. It's definitely a game. I think maybe get some one-offs is fine, but I don't want to full on stack it up. Let's move on and talk about the Houston Astros. Let's talk about the Texas Rangers. We'll go over to you, Hoop. What are we doing here with this game? 9 total. Jake Odorizzi, we know he can get hit up a little bit, but Texas isn't great. And then the Houston Astros, they can hit anyone. And I don't know what a Glenn Otto is. I'm assuming it's not that good, though. So what are you doing here with the Houston Astros against Glenn Otto?
Yeah, I want some bats against a guy named Glenn Otto, that's for sure. So I am going to have the Astros. No Altuve in the lineup tonight. They got Brantley leading off, Diaz batting second. So it's not their A lineup, but Bregman batting 6th, Kyle Tucker batting 7th. Probably some low-owned options down there. Who I do like. Tucker's got a good price tag. Is that what am I on here? That's DraftKings. Yeah, 3.6K. That's a nice price tag for Kyle Tucker in this matchup. And then I do like Odorizzi, but on the Rangers, I mean, similar to yesterday, got some cheap bats in there. Very cheap bats. I mean, Ibanez batting 2nd, 2.5K. Al Bundy batting 3rd, 3.4K.
Al Bundy disappointed the hell out of us last night. So.
He's going to pay us back tonight.
There you go.
Low 3.1K, Peters 2.5, Solak. I believe he had a bomb last night. Big T had him in his core 2.5. Just a really cheap team. So if you're like double paying up at pitcher with an expensive stack, you can come to the Rangers and finish out your lineup. I mean, these guys aren't completely dead to me. So don't hate some of these guys. And even in cash games, if you need full punts, like I think you can come here and look at some of these dudes. But like the Astros bats here tonight for sure.
Yeah, the bombs did not go off near the Eiffel Tower yesterday. We did not see a bunch of home runs hit for Mr. L. Bundy, Adolis Garcia. It was very hurtful, JT. We expect you to bounce back. Maybe you'll bounce back with an Astro against Glenn Otto. Can you tell me, JT, are the Astros an automatic lock for you today on this slate?
Yeah. Against Otto the Turk. I mean, listen, there's nothing less enticing than seeing Michael Brantley leading off. I mean, he's a guy who has some big games, but it's just like not a very sexy play. But yeah, I think you have to like some of these guys in the Astros lineup. Yordan Alvarez, of course, we love to roster him. His park has been okay. It hasn't been as bad as it was earlier in the season. And then it's a strange thing to say about this Texas team, but they do have power up and down the lineup and guys that can hit it out on this team now. And the strikeouts are there too. So even if you're going to use Odorizzi, I think that's fine. You can pick off one of these guys. Jason Martin and DJ Peters have been guys that have been hitting some home runs lately. You mentioned Solak went deep. Nate Lowe had a couple of big games in Cleveland. So interesting spot, though.
All right, JT, let's go on to the next one. I want to talk about this one a lot. I want to talk about the Cubs. I want to talk about the White Sox because Keegan Thompson's not very good. And we get this White Sox lineup that's getting a little bit healthier, right? Tim Anderson, Luis Robert. We get Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, Moncada, Grandal in the 6 hole. Cesar Hernandez, who was hitting in the 2 hole at times in the 1 hole. Now he's in the 7 hole. Andrew Vaughn, and then they still have the nerve to put Leury Garcia in the lineup. I mean, this is a absolutely massively stacked team. JT, are we loading up on the White Sox today?
Yeah, I mean, Leury had a good game yesterday. Again, another park upgrade here. They're coming out of the Humidor, coming out of Sky Dome. And they get Keegan Thompson. And what probably is going to end up by the end of this month or the end of September as being the worst bullpen over the course of maybe the year. in the Chicago Cubs. So another very powerful offense here. Get a pitcher who's not very good in Keegan Thompson. Definitely interest there in the White Sox. And I am not all that interested in the Cubs. Like I said, I will have some Dallas Keuchel.
All right, Hoop, are you playing some White Sox here? They got a pretty high total. They seem like a great play today, and they're a little expensive. Obviously not the easiest to get into your lineup. So I am getting some White Sox exposure, and it's absolutely loaded lineup, so it's hard to narrow it down. How are you handling this White Sox team?
I would have never guessed that you're in on the White Sox. Like, just shocking revelations.
The only problem, Hoop, is I can't play, and this is always the worst, right? And this is why it wasn't bad with the Red Sox last night. I can't play more than 4 on FanDuel, right? So it's like I have to make some cuts, and it's really hard to make those decisions.
Yeah, strong lineup here, good matchup. Really like them, good ballpark. I think they're in a good. What happened to that catcher that was just mashing home runs to start the year?
Oh, you're mean?
You're mean.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Well, now he's one of our chatters, right, JT? But no, he quit, right, JT? What was the word? He retired?
Well, he had a bit of a meltdown. Got in Tony La Russa's doghouse, and then they sent him down to AAA. He said he was going to quit. Now he manages Penguin money.
I mean, why the hell is he not on a major league roster? I mean, that dude was like hitting for average power.
Yeah, I think he had that start of brilliance, right? And then what usually happens with these rookies, the teams see them on tape, they get a little bit more data, and they realize how to pitch to these guys. And if you watch them swing, every swing is as much power as he could muster throughout his 412 pounds in his body. And it was fun for a couple of weeks, but Yasmani Grandal is quite an upgrade over Yermin.
Maybe Yermin needs a ticket to get out of the retirement. That's it's rough out there for Mr. Yermin Mercedes, right? So what are you doing here though? What are you doing with these?
Long story short, love the White Sox, and you can play a lot of these guys. Almost all of them I think are in play here. So definitely one of the better stacks.
Who's your favorite guy that's 6 through 9, right? Between Grandal, Hernandez, Vaughn, and Garcia, right? Because those guys are going to help you kind of get a little different. Who would be your favorite?
I'd definitely say Grandal, but probably Andrew Vaughn, 2.7K value, showing a little bit of pop here.
Yeah, that's a good call. And I wonder if Grandal's cheap on FanDuel. That's something I'll have to give a look at. But I guess let's JT, I talked to you about the White Sox race. We can move on and talk about the Brewers, right? Talk to me about the Brewers, JT. I think they're in play on this slate. You could make a case for the Twins against a lefty like Lauer. He's not great, but I just think it's the wrong slate. So what are you doing here with this game?
Yeah, there is some weather here as well. I think there's some storms that are supposed to be creeping up on the ballpark right around game time. So if we had any interest in pitchers, we shouldn't because of the weather, but I don't have any interest in a 9K Eric Lauer. Definitely some interest in some of these guys on the Twins side. Josh Donaldson, Miguel Sano is cheap. He was in the 4-hole yesterday. And then, you have to have some interest also. There's like 6 or 7 teams that are just powerful offenses against terrible pitchers on this slate. This is another one of them. It's going to be pick which one you think is going to get to that upside spot. Again, another bullpen in Minnesota that we're not all that concerned about. Andrew Albers should not be in this game all that long. I would think if he makes it 5, that'll be a long outing for him.
All right, Hoop, I'll go over to you. You've liked to play the Twins in the past, right? And the Brewers are in a decent spot, so it's not a bad game, but there is some weather. How are you handling this game, Hoop?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, have interest in the Brewers here. I think there's some solid plays in this lineup. Garcia, Lorenzo Cain, I don't hate as a value play. The Minnesota side, I think, is interesting too, and I'd definitely be targeting the power here against Lauer, Donaldson, Garver, Sano. I think are the guys that I have the most interest in. Should be pretty low owned on a 15-game full slate with a little bit of weather, so don't hate those guys in tournaments.
All right, let's go on over to the next game. We're starting to get to the West Coast where, Big T hates playing these guys out here, and I don't love doing it either, but there are some big totals, right? We got the Padres against the Angels. JT, tell me what a Packy Naughton is. You playing some Packy Naughton? You stacking against some Packy Naughton? What are you doing here, JT?
Packy Naughton is just another one of the great baseball names. He's probably not going to be around for all that long, but he is now, and he's a gift to us. What I will say is that this Padres team, another team here, like the Phillies, very desperate for a win. The Padres playing very well, sort of the middle of the season. Then they had the Tatis injury. Tatis is back now, obviously playing the outfield, and they just got swept by the Dodgers. So same way I feel about the Dodgers when they come out of these series against the Padres. I think I'm going to be lower on the San Diego Padres. It's a great spot. It's a bad starting pitcher. It's a bad bullpen. Just not my favorite spot of the night. Certainly they're in play, but I won't have all that much of them.
Let's talk about this. You talked the golf. We got a body bag Snyder real quick. I open up the Twitter account, right? There's some nice little screenshots and stuff. I hit a like. Slick the Rule is watching us. I'm enjoying it. And then I see Snyder out here commenting on Bryson, barely missing that 59, and says, wasn't even close on that putt. I mean, just body bag Snyder real quick here.
Yeah, I mean, Snyder's my boy. I love Snyder. I mean, everything I'm about to say, just know I still love you. It's just the worst takes of all time. Like, I get it. Like, I understand it, and I'm with you. I think Morikawa might be better than Bryson long term. I really think there's a chance that does happen. He's been better this year than Bryson. You've had the victories. You've had all the victories all season long. Morikawa has been phenomenal. Today is not the day. Just sit it out. Wait till the next tournament, next weekend, and get back on it. It's done for you here. Morikawa is in dead last. Bryson just shot 12 under today. And you're in the streets working this. Just give it up for the day. Maybe Bryson, has a bad round tomorrow. Morikawa does well. Today is just not the day, Snyder.
Not the day, but you know what today is? Today's the day to maybe stack against Packy Naughton. Hoop. I mean, the San Diego Padres have a pretty good lineup, right? I mean, you might get these guys kind of low owned today. I don't think people are going to really be playing them. We talk about how these late lineups come out. I think the Padres are kind of in play today.
They're going to be real low owned. I don't know. They just haven't been doing all that much. I'm kind of in the same boat as JT here. Just been somewhat uninspiring. Obviously going against Max Scherzer last night, not a great matchup. They, did not look really good at the plate. That can be said for most teams that go against Max Scherzer. So you give them the free pass yesterday, but prior to that, I really haven't seen all that much. They'll be low owned, but I think I'm okay being, maybe off of them here.
All right, JT, let's go and talk about this Yankees and A's game. And I want to talk about K. Falik. He said, I don't know if you know this, but he was talking in the chat. He said there's the guy who's going to homer against Garrett Cole play of the day, right? So, K. Falik, he likes a challenge. So who do you think his guy that's going to dong against Garrett Cole play of the day is on this A's lineup?
I have to say I'm less concerned with who might hit a home run or two here in a matchup where you've got finally low run totals here. And, it'd be a little bit warmer in Oakland. Both these teams scored a bunch of runs last night, but pitching here a little bit better, certainly with Cole and Minaya. Not really interested in offense here. I'm not going to try. It's a 15-game slate. I'm not going to try and pick out, one player who's going to hit a home run against the pitcher that's my favorite on the slate. So I will skip that game. I will tell the people 427 watching, 228 likes is simply not enough. And we need to just increase that number exponentially in the next 8 minutes when we hope to get out of here. And tell you that I like Garrett Cole, and I probably don't have a lot of interest in Minaya. Minaya is intriguing at that price point, but the Yankees have just been so hot, smashing every pitcher that's being thrown at them right now. It's a tough sell to play Minaya on this slate.
All right. Well, JT, also be looking for that chatter for the ticket, right? Be on the lookout for that member because we're getting towards the end. I know you don't want to talk about this game because you're getting agitated. We're past 5:30. You're getting grumpy. Understandable, JT. We'll move this thing. Don't you worry. Hoop, do you have the K. Falik dong of the day? Do you know the answer on the A's who it is? And then how else are you handling this game?
Real quick, just wanted to mention that the golf in Baltimore is expected to start back up at 6. So I'm assuming that means improved weather forecast, which I just pulled it up and looks like it. So I think that Baltimore game is now good, which is solid because we obviously like the Rays. On a 15-game slate, listen, it might work 1 out of 100 times. Why would you pick on like one of the best pitchers in baseball on a 15-game slate, even for the one-offs? I get it. Okay, sure. Matt Olson, you can play if you want, but to me, why? Like, why? It doesn't make sense to me. So
K-Fowler likes a challenge, Hoop. We talked about it, and you got.
I know he's so rich where it doesn't matter. Like, it does, I mean, for K-Fowler, it doesn't matter. Guy's so loaded, he can do stuff like this. But for us normal folks, we don't have that option. So I'm not playing the A's. I don't have enough money like Fowler.
Well, if you're playing the night slate and you're getting those cores, which I know, JT, you're in the chat getting the late night cores. Mitch Moreland might be in K-Fowler's late night cores. This is one-off dong against Mr. Garrett Cole. So there you go. That is the guy he talked about. Let's get away from that game, though. Let's talk about the Mariners. Let's talk about the Royals. We talked a little bit about Logan Gilbert. We know some of these righties on the Mariners can go off, right, when they get a lefty. Ty France, Steve Boynton's boy, Mitch Haniger. JT, do you have any interest in these Seattle bats here?
15-game slate, I can't say that I have a lot of interest in this game. It's just the probability of this being the outlier game that wins the slate is extremely, extremely low here.
All right, JT, I'll ask you one more question. The next game, you liked Kyle Freeland a little bit. Does that mean you're playing any Dodgers or you're fading them? How are you handling that one?
I mean, I'm going to follow the patterns here. The patterns that we've seen are when the Dodgers have come out of these tense series against the Padres, no matter what they do, win, they lose, when they've been swept, when they sweep, the next game is just a down game for them. I'm probably going to be off the Dodgers, especially when you look at their prices on DraftKings. You have to go to the 8th hitter to get a guy below 5K. Like, where is the upside there? All of these guys have to hit 2 home runs or go absolutely nuts. They have to win 25-2 in order for you to take down a tournament with guys at these prices. I don't even think a one-off is something you're going to need from the Dodgers tonight.
All right, and K-Fowler, you're not going to derail this show. You can derail the premium show with your, no one's going to say the Yankees are a good play, good grief. Get out of here, K-Fowler. You can go derail the premium show. Hoop, these last 2 games, do you have any interest in these offenses? Because JT's getting a little agitated. He wants to get that ticket out there. He wants to talk about his stacks. Hoop, what are you doing with these last 2 games?
Yeah, no, nothing for me. I mean, obviously, I think people will have some interest in the Dodgers. I just happen to think Freeland is, better than people think. He was very solid, I believe, last Saturday at that live final in Coors. I'm not going to take any Dodgers bats today. I think Freeland's a little bit better. And then, no interest in the Royals or Mariners. So pretty much agree.
All right, JT, get to the stacks. I know you're excited to talk about them. Who are your favorite stacks on this slate?
Yeah, I think the Tampa Bay Rays, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, how we're picking on this Baltimore Orioles starting pitching rotation and bullpen. They definitely are interesting. The Red Sox, very, very interesting against Logan Allen, and the middle of the Cleveland bullpen where they traded some pieces away who were doing well. Hoop talked about the Blue Jays. I like the Blue Jays quite a bit myself here. The Brewers, the Astros are in play. I'll have maybe one stack of the Giants, as I said, and the Chicago White Sox are the teams that I am most interested in filling out my lineups with. Or I shouldn't say filling out. The most that I'm most interested in owning this evening. I'm going to own them.
Yes.
All right. Well, I will be looking to own the, let's say the Rays. Let's say the White Sox. Let's say there's one more I was going to say besides that one. Where is it? I'm missing out. The Astros is another team that I'll look to go to because we talked about Glenn Otto. And even though there might be some rostership on the Red Sox, I'll be looking to play some of them too as well. Hoop, what do you got here on your stacks of the day? Everyone get your notepads out. Don't miss out on Hoop stacks. Here they come. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm on a lot of the teams you guys mentioned. Definitely like the Blue Jays. I think one of my top ones. More, lower owned stacks that I'll be on the Phillies. I'll definitely be on the Phillies now that, again, that area looks much better in terms of the weather. And then one super low stack that I might play is the Tigers. I think the Tigers will be virtually unowned, and I don't hate them here. And I'd probably prefer just to stack that game and hope that it kind of goes off because I think it definitely could.
Yeah, I mean, that one was out of nowhere for sure. JT, do we have the ticket guy that we're giving it away to? What's the plan here, JT? Are we doing
Yeah, I think so. It's a guy that I see in Discord. I think he's, we need to get to 250 likes. It's very simple. We're at 244. Yeah. Let's get to 250. I'll give away the ticket right now. But if we don't get to 250, we're out of here. We're not doing any plays. He's a guy in Discord that I think he's coming into his own. He's been a little bit grumpier sometimes than I'd like to see him. So maybe this is a good way to incentivize him to be a little bit happier. I think it will. NJJ the God is going to get that ticket.
All right. Well,
yeah. Have him shoot me a message on Discord or email if you want. But he's in the Discord.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, shoot me a message on Discord. I'll get you hooked up with that ticket. But like I said, the only thing is you have to win the 100K.
Yeah, got to win that 100K. Don't be shy. Send Hoop a Discord message. We don't
no shy guys. No shy guys.
No shyness at all. We're at 261, so keep pounding it home as we give the plays of the day. And Hoop, I'm going to go right to you. Are you ready? Give me the play of the day. The people they wanted, they still have the notepad out from the stack, so they need to write this one down. Who is Hoop's play of the day?
Okay. All right. I gotta find the doll back from last night. All right.
Who we need more time, Hoop? We can go somewhere else.
No. I got a couple guys in contention. We
don't have to force it, Hoop. I can go first.
No. I got it. It's just I'm trying to think. Okay, all right, here it is. I'm gonna go to the Rays. Okay, we all like the Rays. Going down to the 7-hole. Manuel Margot is gonna hit 2 bombs for us tonight.
All right, not 1 but 2 bombs for Mr. Manuel Margot. I don't know if that's his name, JT. Can you confirm? Is it Manuel Margot? How do we pronounce that?
Is it Margot? Maybe Margot.
No, Hoop. You said it right. Don't even worry about that. You said it right.
All right, excellent, perfect.
Have you confirmed that with his parents though?
I will later.
All right.
I'm going to see them. I'm going to have a steak with them tonight. We're going to watch the game.
Nice. Before we go to the Eiffel Tower play, JT, we're not hopping on the jet yet. We got to get my play of the day. I'm going to the White Sox, and I'm going to the man who's just back in the lineup. I'm going to Mr. Yasmani Grandal. Love him in here in this spot. Going to get some Grandal exposure against Mr. Keegan Thompson. JT, time to hop on the plane. Sponsored by Dark Sky, Air France, all the places. Give me the play of the day, JT Hayes.
Yeah, Air France. France is in the air, as you guys know, and there's going to be a lot of bombs in the air tonight in Cleveland. And with some teammates out, first of all, keep an eye on this lineup, and I think it may actually lower their ownership a little bit. People will be scared of the COVID bug, but I don't think they're running around testing anymore today. And it's been a little bit of a disappointment this week for this guy. His teammates have carried him, and I think that changes tonight. JD Martinez, 4.8 in that 5-hole matchup against a lefty, a bad lefty, a lefty who gives up more home runs than he should. He's going to smash tonight.
All right, that'll wrap it up for us, guys. Hit that like button while you're getting out the door. Hit that subscribe so don't miss out on all the NFL content. Use that code RPSNFL15 to get 15% off your first payment. Also, check out the premium show coming up next over here at runpuresports.com. Don't miss out on all the takes that the guys are going to have. Draft Sheet will be there. Holden, someone else, right? Maybe Big T, maybe JSU. Not sure who the other one is, but they'll be there hanging out and giving you all of the DFS winners. But that'll wrap it up for us. It's already 5:41. JT's already getting agitated, cranky, and needs to get his steak and build his lineup. So we're going to get on out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us. For me, Mangone, Hoop, and JT Hayes. See you guys later.